Gender roles have continuously impacted on the ways in which men and women participate in work, sport, and leisure activities. Feminist theories base their work on the belief that women's leisure time is primarily dominated by household work. The concept of the second shift, in which women come home from their paid jobs to a second shift of household chores, implies that they have little or no time for leisure activities. Studies show that there is a clear difference between men and women in quality of leisure time. Bittman and Wachman discussed that on average, men have more high-quality leisure time than women. As a whole, women are only moderately disadvantaged in terms of quantity, but the differences begin to arise when studied in terms of quality. Through sporting activities, sporting groups generally associate and promote themselves through the projection of muscular, competitive men. Women are stereotypically viewed as less able to compete due to physical ability, but if a woman is more muscular and presenting with male characteristics, she immediately challenges the gender order and is viewed negatively. In Australian sports such as NRL, AFL, and the cricket, women are less projected in the sporting field. It is interesting to note that a woman challenging the gender norms is not seen as acceptable, but when men present similar characteristics such as David Beckham and a new man, he is praised and awarded for it. We can see a clear difference in gender roles through the sporting industry, but it's clear that expectations played the largest role here. In modern-day society, many people do support women playing sports and being good at their chosen profession, but there are still some aspects in which inequality is apparent. Along the same lines as the second shift of work, we are able to compare the amount of work, both paid and unpaid, done by men and women. This brings us to how gender roles are portrayed through labor, power, and cathesis. Work duties are often separated between genders, with men focused on the upkeep of an organization, and women included in more background activities. Within this comes horizontal segregation, in which the extent to which women and men do different jobs in the workforce, and vertical segregation, the extent to which men and women are paid according to their status. Again, we can discuss the second shift, where common sense tells us that women are most likely to come home from work to do more housework. In terms of power, it is believed that generally men have control over the financial side of the company and are in control of most aspects of a field. This can in turn lead to unwanted issues such as harassment. Cathesis is the expectation of women to fulfill their usual duties. From this, we can see issues arise in terms of ability, for example, to gain maternity leave, and emotional labor. Emotional labor plays a role in both men and women in the workforce, but stereotypically, women are more likely to suffer from emotional labor in positions such as nursing and counseling. Emotions can take a toll on ability to perform to expected levels. We can see how work, leisure, and sport interlinked in terms of gender roles. Men have stereotypically been seen as superior to women in the workforce, which in turn impacts on the leisure time and activities for women. This then rubs off on other parts of life, primarily sports in Australia, of which typical expectations are again putting men and women into categories. Therefore, we can see that gender roles and assumptions take their toll on both men and women.